Our CB projects aim to provide an in-depth information and also training on the participation of LIFE projects for all eligible Hungarian stakeholders, as it was explained more thoroughly on the opening remarks. Our goal is to expand the existing competencies and knowledge and to create platforms that assist applicants in generating, developing, and submitting LIFE projects. Now, as mentioned beforehand, but I will still give a quick word about it, our consortium consists of 3 members at the moment. The project is coordinated by our fellow Hungarian Development Promotion Office, which is a back office of one of our ministries, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and also with the Ministry of Energy. And we, at the moment, wrapping up the implementation of our 3-year project. We won this call on the 2021 Technical Assistance Capacity Building call, and we kicked off our project on the 1st of June in 2023. We will wrap up soonly our project in the end of May. It's a standard 36 months project. Now we implement a couple of things. Who am I kidding? A lot of things, from communication campaigns to trainings to some innovative ideas that we came up with, such as idea competition for students that I will elaborate on it a bit later. We set up a help desk and we participated in many events and many more things, but more on that a bit later. Moving on, we have some recap of the milestones of the project. In the first year, we already faced our first difficulty as our 4th member, the Ministry of Public Administration, left our consortium, but luckily we managed to deal with it very soon and we kept up the progression of our projects. In the first year, we organized between 2023 June 1st and 2024 May the 31st 2 information days. We managed to gather about 150 participants for each information days. We kicked off our training sessions. We held 3 courses. We also had a special course for ourselves. We invited experts to train even us. We had 1 study trip and 1 representation at a relevant event. By the next year, we finished 7 courses, 2 special courses for us, and we finished our idea competition as well. We also represented ourselves on another event, and we will finish off our project by May 31st with another information day, and or we finished off with another information day in 2025, sorry. And we hold 8 courses and we packed 4 study trips in a very short amount of time. But moving on, or just a second, our budget is about north of 400K. Moving on, some details on some finances. For example, the most important takeaway here is that the funding rate for our project is 95%. Moving on, now on to the work packages. We have 8 of them. We also have 12 milestones, as we showcased before on the previous slides, and we have 13 deliverables. Now, to go on to more details on the work packages, to the work package first. Every project needs and therefore have a project management and coordination work package. Therefore, of course, we have S1 well. To make the management and coordination easier and also the communication between us, we established 2 bodies, a life support team, which deals with financial and operative tasks and consists of, beside our fellow MFOE members on the ministry side, 4 NCPs, each for 1 subprogram, 1 professional manager, that will be me at the moment, and NCP backup colleague for the nature program, and financial colleagues as well. As it goes for the steering body that we established, its main role, the decision making. Now it consists of, beside our fellow MFOE members, the ministries, each of ours head of departments, and also me as a professional manager on behalf of the two ministries. Now, moving on, the work package 2, which is probably one of our favorites activity in the project, is about enhancing the capacities of the NCPs through visiting different countries, learning about best practices, and mingling with project coordinators of different countries, and to, of course, establish bilateral relationships with relevant stakeholders such as NCPs and project owners. If we would have not done this work package, this conference maybe would have not come to life as it is. And on the right, you can see a few pictures from our first study trip in Spain. I will be very brief about our activities to keep us on schedule. We get to know about 7 projects in the course of this study trip, from energy efficiency related projects to nature-based solutions to skills building and water management, for example. We also visited 3 projects, the Hallon Life projects with a main focus of energy communities. The colleagues of Hallon project will present their project and their results a bit later, in about 2 hours or so. We are lucky that they are accepted our invitation. We also visited the Cerceda Pardilla project, which deals with species preservation, and also the Life Maslow-Wothen project, which is a model farm based on a digital solution and solar panels, for example. And moving on, we have few more pictures, and it requires some context. On the upper echelon, you can see a study trip to Portugal, where we visited the Life Resland project, which is located in the Sintra Cascais National Park, which deals with climate resilience, forest fires due to invasive species. I'm not really gonna go into detail on that one, but we also had the opportunity to learn from 5 different life clean energy transition projects as well, from energy communities to policy making, and etc. etc. We also had 2 extraordinary workshops with our fellow Portuguese colleagues, one dealing with the Hungarian and also the Portuguese capacity building project. The Portuguese colleagues will present their capacity building project also a bit later. And the second workshop day was about the dissemination of the Hungarian and Portuguese Life Clean Energy Transition sub-program in its respective countries. This study trip mainly focused on the clean energy transition. And also below you can find the pictures from our study trip in Italy, where we had a workshop day showcasing the Hungarian city project and also the Italian NCP activities and their impressive results of life. Yet again, the fellow colleague from Italy will explain this point more throughoutly. And we also visited 2 sites, the Life Viticase project, which is an agricultural soil management practices that aim to capture carbon, but luckily in a vineyard. So we had the opportunity to visit a vineyard. In the other project that we visited, called Life Natural Power, is focused on a fossil fuel-free herbicides and biocides. We visited their lab laboratory as well. We also had the opportunity to learn from 4 project presentations from energy transition subprogram, for example, to nature projects such as the rehabilitation of the Po River. Moving on to the next one, we have 2 more study trips that we finished already. On the upper echelon, you can see our Greece study trip. It was sort of a hybrid study trip, as it was not planned by our initial project, but due to our capacity building project, we had the opportunity to participate in the Net for Life event, which is organized by the NCP Communities of Life. And we held the conference at Athens in Greece. We had a very packed agenda for that 3-day visit. We had 8 NCP presentations. Many people came from all around Europe, from Ireland to Latvia to Finland to Iceland, and more and more. Also, I had the opportunity to also showcase our CB project there as well for our fellow NCP
De
colleagues.
ebből a szempontból meg az, hogy ahogy rögtön az volt, hogy vennének föl embert, ezek szerint tényleg meg akarják tartani.
Elnézést, lehallgatnál magát, kérem. Thank you. We also visited a few sites, for example, the National Observatory of Athens and the Sea Turtle Center, where we watched a turtle crawl back to the sea. It's a nice experience, and also 2 more fields of projects. Now moving on to the Polish study trip, our fellow colleagues from the Nature Subprogram visited Poland for 3 days. They had the opportunity to listen to 6 projects, if I counted well, and they also managed to visit a few national parks as well. This study trip was dedicated wholeheartedly for the Life, Nature and Biodiversity program. Now, I like to speak on this topic, but to keep us on schedule, I will move on to our 3rd work package, which is probably one of our main work package besides the work package 2. In the work package 3 of our thematic trainings, our objective was to our overall approach to the training activities was based on the learning by doing methodology, which consists of hands-on workshops and real-life examples. For instance, on one of the trainings that I participated on, we handed out folders containing a complex or more or less complex financial task to the participants. Usually on these trainings, about 50% participates to keep it simple and to tackle any issues. We try to focus on these ones on qualities. Back to the original topics, we handed out folders containing complex financial tasks that the participants had to solve within about 1.5 hours. Of course, we showcased the methodology, how to do that. So we allocated 1.5 hours to the task. And unfortunately, as it showcased many times, many participants, including me, miscalculated the results. But it only showcased us and to the rest of the participants how the financial colleagues' role in participation of the LIFE projects are crucial. Now, our targeted stakeholders were the past, the present, the future, universities, SMEs, industrial players, and of course, among many others, the relevant authorities and, for example, national parks as well. The thematics for these thematic trainings were threefold. There were 3 types of trainings: the project management and reporting course, the proposal writing and budgeting course, and also, as mentioned beforehand, the seriousness of this topic, the financial rules and reporting on the projects. Now we had this in a beginner and an advanced form so that everyone can have their key takeaway. For those who are completely new to life, they were allocated to the beginner section of these trainings, but those who are more seasoned either in the live program itself or other direct EU funds, they had the opportunity to participate in an advanced training. Usually, these trainings, these are the 18 or so, if I remember correctly, trainings that, yep, okay. Van időnk szerintem, de sorry, just a second. Yeah, the trainings, there's a few of them, as you can see it. I try to be a bit more brief to keep us on schedule. Here are the agenda for one of the events. As you can see, it's clearly that the trainings usually took a whole day. Moving on, we have the work package 4, which is a live project consultancy. We set up a help desk for the participants to reach out to us if they have any trouble with legal, financial obligations, and so on. We have an extended capacity, fortunately, due to our project, and we are managing to help many people throughout this help desk. If you have any questions for us, please refer to that email address that you can see highlighted on the left. Moving on to the work package 5, I will be very, very brief on this one. We represented ourselves on a few occasions at some expos and events and sort of. Our objective was the promotion of the live program and its actions that contribute to the increase of the successful implementation. Moving on quickly, I will be a bit more elaborative on this one, just in 2 minutes or so. We had probably the most innovative idea, the Live Idea competition, which was targeted for students in higher education. The idea was simple. We made a call for the students so they can submit a sort of mock live tender, but we are well aware of the difficulties of such calls that we made an online course for the students where we explained the aspects of live program and also the competition itself. We provided them with the thematic template that you can see on the bottom right, just a few things: name, budget, logos, duration, and their project idea itself, which were consisting of 1 or 2 pages. On the top right hand, you can see 2 of the winners. One is the EcoWebs, which is revolving around the ABS recycling, which is the main component, for example, of Lego. It's a sort of plastic. And the one below that is the H2V project, which focuses on harnessing the wind power that is created by traffic on the highways. We also rewarded them with non-financial reward. We opened up our network for them, that we help them in the future for making or submitting a live project. Moving on to the work package 7, it's our communication campaign. It's about, of course, to raise awareness to live program. We have YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, a website also, newsletter, but the main things are our online articles that we publish, for example, on our websites and on other outsourced websites as well. And we do a podcast series where either we participate in it, our higher-ups, or we open up the floor to other live project owners to promote their projects. But our main implementation for this one is, of course, our information day, which we had 3 of them. And just to showcase, here is the last one where our information day consisted, of course, to give back that year's calls to the audience. And also we had a panel discussion where we invited project owners to lead us through their consortium building, application, their writing, and of course their success as well. Now, just to be brief, it moves. Just a quick picture. This is the Treasury Hall of the historic Ministry of Finance. This is the place where we had the opportunity to held 2 of our information day last year and before that one. It's a beautiful hall. I just had to show it to you. And I will entirely skip this one as we are in the middle of the session of the event. The main goal, of course, to uphold our project results in the future as well. We have, of course, constant surveys, and we try to get feedbacks on our project. At the end of our event, we will also have 20 minutes for feedback from the audience on our project. Please prepare some comments if you would like to do so in advance. Moving on, we have some pictures from our information day, from our project management course, from the 2 winners on the middle of our idea competition, and for example, our representation at a relevant event. Moving on, we have our website. Unfortunately, I don't have time to showcase it for you, but please check it out, especially the Hungarian participants, as we have a partner search platform, and we provide some interesting information as well there in Hungarian and in English as well. Of course, we have a few future objectives, but to keep it concise, as it mentioned before, to keep up the results of our project is a main goal, and perhaps in the future build on our capacity building project in the future. Our next speaker is Dr. Béla Tokody from the MME BirdLife Hungary, who will deliver his presentation titled A Brief Presentation of the Habitat Restoration Life Project, Safe Haven Life, and Experiences from the Project Planning Processes. Dr. Tokody, if you are ready whenever, please.
Yes, thank you. I am ready. Good morning to you all. My name is Béla Tokody on behalf of MME BirdLife Hungary, and I will talk about a little bit this very fresh life project we started last September. This project will be implemented in Hungary, of course, in the southeastern part of the country, with a total budget of slightly over 2 million euros. The project will be coordinated by us, BirdLife Hungary, as a lead beneficiary, alongside us, National Park, the Kiskunság National Park Directorate, and the local municipality will participate through this 6-year duration of project. Next slide, please. The project focuses on restoring the natural water regime and set up conservation practices of very, very special habitats, the sodic pens or natural lakes, located within an EU-permitted habitats, the Pannonian sand steppes and salt marshes. These are extremely vulnerable and very, very rare habitats within the European Union. Only a little bit more than 200,000 hectares exist across the EU, and 94% of which are found in Hungary. They represent a very, very unique ecosystem with highly specialized flora and fauna. The best indicators of their ecological condition are naturally the bird communities, particularly the population of species characteristic of these sodic pens or saline lakes. The main threats include the degradation and homogenization of wetlands. The water management is often inadequate, leading to frequent drying out, especially this year. Maybe this will be the biggest drought ever in the Carpathian basin. In many cases, the conservation management is absent or insufficient in these natural lakes. Illegal waste dumping also occurs in some areas, although many of these cases date back to the past in the 1950s or 60s. The indicators bird species are the black-tailed godwit, the common redshank, the gargany, and the common pochard. These species face significant pressure from different predator species, like the red foxes, the wild boars, and the golden jackals. By corvids also reuse breeding success, not only the hooded crow, but the still protected ravens or rook. However, the lack of habitat management is a very big threat. The conservation management practices like grazing, when not properly managed, can result in the trampling of eggs, which are crucial if you think about the black-tailed godwit. This species there are only 100 pairs in Hungary. These areas are exceptional importance in the context of the EU restoration law, of course. Their rehabilitation is essential, and their long-term maintenance is of very, very critical importance for the EU. The next slide, please. This degraded sodic pens, or first step, is to set up a proper water management by the renovation of still existing hydraulic structures, and of course, lack of them, the design and construction of new ones where necessary. After this achievement of adequate water retention capacity in the wetlands, each site will be provided with a suitable number of grazing animals, primarily water buffaloes, of course, and the Hungarian grey cattle, which will perform special conservation grazing based on a very carefully developed grazing management plan. For the priority bird species, we will improve breeding success by establishing meadow bird nesting plots protected by an electric fencing system. This approach effectively excludes mammalian predators as well, and prevents the trampling damages which caused by accidentally the buffaloes or the cattle. Next slide, please. If you see the expected result, a total of more than 1,000 hectares of priority bird habitat will be rehabilitated. During the course, the project will retain nearly 20 million cubic meters of water across the targeted wetlands. As a result of interventions, the populations of indicator bird species are expected to increase, of course, with particular emphasis on the black-tailed godwit, as I mentioned before. In addition, the project will develop a non-invasive monitoring system based on an AI-powered precision drone technology. This could be a very innovative tool, will be used to monitor breeding success and track changes in predator abundance, providing an accurate, efficient, and quite disturbance-free data collection to support the long-term conservation management. Slide 5, please. As part of the project, we plan to develop a professional proposal recommending that this priority habitat, the 1530 habitat type, be subdivided into two subtypes, a wetland one and a dry subtype. This distinction is crucial for the periodic evaluation of the habitat condition and for the effective allocation of this kind of conservation resources. In addition, we aim to prepare a CAP proposal advocating for the inclusion of sodic pens among the supported habitat types, recognizing them as a most vulnerable ecosystem in the EU. And of course, the project aims to contribute to the objectives of the EU restoration law and close cooperation with the designated ministry in Hungary, the Ministry of Agrarian. The next slide, please. We only succeeded with this LIFE project proposal on our third try. Along the way, we learned some important lessons. Maybe the first lesson was, or or habitat, because the National Assessment of Habitat Type, the Pannonian South and Salt Marshes, is a quite broad term that covers several different types of saline habitats. But of course, we focus saline lakes or natron lakes, rely the water and the threatened ecosystem. The problem was that in the National Evaluation System, the dry saline habitats, which are the major part of this special habitat, 175,000 hectares, but the wetland habitats just only 5,000-6,000 hectares. But they are grouped together for the assessment. So because this combined assessment, the overall conservation status is rated U2, meaning poor, but it's not endangered, so not seen as a priority for action in the prioritized action framework. So we try to prepare a good application for a priority habitat, which are not so bad quality in Hungarian, but of course we know that the wetland part is very endangered. The second lesson what we learned is about gaps in knowledge, which was interesting because BirdLife Hungary has carried out more than 20 successful live projects in the past 26 years, but most of them have focused on conserving specific species. For example, the imperial eagle, Silker falcon, European rollers, or red-footed falcons, and we didn't have enough knowledge of the habitat conservation projects. But I think it's the past because we practiced a lot in the past 4 years. And the third important lesson involves the stakeholder involvement, because the farmers and hunting managers or hunting societies were very important stakeholders, and we try to include to the project as project partners. But unfortunately, as a result, this was seen as one of the main risks during the evaluation process. So we work with them, but not in a consortium. That were our experience, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I would like to welcome you from Poland. And as a national NCP, I would like to share you with some information, key experience related with our approach. And now I will present you the presentation as a full screen. I hope it is. Oh, yeah. Now it is in a full screen mode. So what I would like to present you today, the scope of my presentation, just a short introduction of the National Fund, the institution I work for. Afterwards, some information about our role as a national contact point, a bit of statistics, and some tips for Hungarian applicants, tips from the National Fund, from National Contact Point perspective. So a short introduction to the institution, the National Fund for Environmental Protection and Water Management. It is a state fund established in 1989 during the political changes in Poland. At that time, there was a round table, and and there was the discussion between opposition and Communist Party, and within this discussion was a smaller round table related with environment, and within those talks the idea of the National Fund emerged, and the idea of the fund is to collect the money from fees and penalties into green investments, into nature protection, nature environment protection. So we started with Polish money from fees and penalties, and afterwards we started as an institution to work with European money, and we are still dealing with environmental protection, but using also European money. The National Fund is part of a system of financing environmental protection in Poland. We have 16 regional funds. These are independent institutions. Apart from national fund, there's also a bank dedicated for environment protection. What is our role as a national contact point? We started our involvement in 2008 and started to play a role as a national contact point, as a co-financer of Polish LIFE projects. Talking about money, as you know, the Commission is providing grants up to 95%. So from 60 to 95%, and we, as a financial institution, we are providing grants for Polish beneficiaries, Polish LIFE beneficiaries, up to 35%. So that means the grants for close to market grants are not applying for our co-financing because the input is only 5%. But we also provide grant loans for ensuring financial liquidity, especially for the last payment of the Commission, and also we have some money for preparing LIFE applications, and since some years, since 2020, we have such calls also. Our main tasks as a national contact point are, I guess, the same as Hungarian. So increase interest in LIFE program. Also, we are involved in consulting LIFE ideas of LIFE projects. And we support potential beneficiaries, the applicants, during the process of preparing applications. We are also assisting applicants in finding partners, using also our contacts from European national contact points. And we have quite a lot trainings, sessions, webinars, workshops also. Our main way of information is, of course, internet. We have a dedicated web page, but we are also active on LinkedIn. The main source of information are the news. We have also available newsletter, so potential applicants can get information right on the email box. But what we are especially proud of is more than 160 hours of materials on our YouTube channel. And this is plenty of information. We started recording our webinars in 2021. You know, during the COVID problem, and we are doing this all the time. But since this is quite a lot of information, a few years ago we decided to make it simpler to get certain information, and we provided navigation of our channel on our channel. So when you would like to go to a specific area of interest, you just go into our web page and looking at this place, you can see that you can get information about the general information about the program, how to prepare a project, how to find money, financial sources, and also dedicated information related with our sub programs. And the last one is a part dedicated for business, local authorities, and also science. So we have also dedicated movies on that area. So looking at this introduction to life, we provide several information, several movies, and when you click at the link, you go directly to the place where you can get the information we are trying to give you. So you don't have to scroll the movie, you just go to the point. So, what are the results of our work? I don't know. I believe you are familiar with quite interesting the database on European Union webpage. Quick overview, and looking at life in this perspective. Of course, we all know that Italy, Spain is at the top, but we are also trying to get from the Commission money for environment protection in Poland. When we filter this database based on project coordinator participant role, we are also at the moment, actually, we run in Poland 34 projects. And some tips for Hungarian applicants. You've already had some tips from beneficiaries, and I believe they are more valuable. But of course, from the NCP perspective, we have also some tips. So just to start with basic information, to learn what is LIFE about, decide which one sub-program the applicant is interested in. I believe that European Commission Information Day live recordings are very helpful. Of course, for Polish applicants, we propose Polish movies. Of course, as was already mentioned, the call document is a key document for all potential applicants. So everyone should be familiar with that. But of course, the role of the national contact point is very important. I believe that it is very helpful to contact national contact point at the beginning of the process when the idea of project emerge. Of course, you have to consider whether you can manage a project alone, or you need some partners, which would be very helpful in such a big live projects. And after creating account on funding and tenders portal and downloading the live application for what is also very important to read the evaluation criteria, because the knowledge on what criteria the application will be evaluated is very helpful. And of course, through the whole process, the contacts with national contact point is very helpful. Even with starting filling the application. And last tip, I guess, submission of project proposal. What we advise all applicants to submit it ahead, not wait for the last minute, because simply there are some instances where the system is stuck and it is not possible to submit application. So thank you very much for your attention.